Raiders, it's time to test the new mythical champion, and I gotta say it really surpassed my expectations. If you guys did not have a chance to see the new mythical champion, I am currently on the test server, guys, so I have early access to it. I can actually test the champion, showcase it for you guys. Basically, it was teased by Plarium in a few different posts on their socials, and yes, it is another Sylvan Watchers. This becomes the very first faction in the game with 3 mythical champions, and is Nell Blackteeth. Support and attack based, magic affinity. It does look pretty damn awesome, especially on the second form. I'm talking about the design. Now, initially, before I've tested the champion, guys, I looked at the kit and I was like, yeah, seems okay, nothing special on the first form in terms of like being a mythical champion, right? It sounds more like a bad because this champion is gonna get polymorphed a lot in arena. But then on second thoughts, looking at the second form and trying it, I'm actually like, wow, okay, and you're gonna probably be the same after. In terms of stats, we have 23k HP, 1k attack on the first form, 1.3k defense, 112 speed. Low crit damage, nothing special there, just a standard for a support champion. 30 resistance, 20 accuracy. We're gonna get to the second part in a second. The A1 attacks an enemy, has a chance to steal the target's turn meter, steals an additional 5% turn meter for each debuff on the enemy. Also places a true fear for 1 turn, or a 75% chance to do so. With the A2, steals all buffs from all enemies on a 3-turn cooldown. Decreases each target's turn meter by 10%, and by an additional 5% for each debuff that they had. Also, instantly activates all poison debuffs on all enemies. Then, places a sleep debuff for 1 turn on all enemies without poison debuffs. So yes, it does sound a lot like bah, but if we're gonna go over to the A3, attacks all enemies with Sickle of Corruption on a 3-turn cooldown fully booked, will place a defense down and a weaken on all enemies for 2 turns, and will fill the turn meter of all allies by 20%. Again, pretty nice, defense down, weaken. You're landing a lot of debuffs, especially with the first form. The passive, whenever an enemy receives a buff, is healed, or has their turn meter increased, places a 5% poison debuff on that enemy for 2 turns. Will ignore block debuffs buff. Increases this champion's turn meter by 5% for each poison debuff placed. So that is actually pretty nice. Imagine going versus Sifi, you're instantly going to land 3 poisons on each one of them. And you're going to ignore the block debuffs. Now, it's a very high chance to get polymorphs. So most likely, if you're planning to use this champion for the first form, especially in arena content, having pinpoint will be definitely very important. If we are checking the aura, we have a 100 accuracy in arena battles. Moving over to the second form, check it out. Huyakasha, it looks absolutely terrifying, okay? It looks awful, it looks mean, it looks badass, okay? The design is just crazy good on this form, so freaking evil. So this is the attack-based form. The stats, 17k HP, 1.5k attack, 1.1k defense, and we're still keeping 112 speed. With A1, attacks one enemy 4 times. Each hit will ignore 30% of the target's defense. Each hit will also decrease the target's max HP by 25% of the damage inflicted. Very powerful counter versus Narcissus or other HP champions that won't get to deal as much damage once you decrease their HP. If the target is not a boss, also places a shield buff on this champion equal to 25% of the target's max HP. So you want to target as many tanky champions as possible to gain a big shield on yourself. A2, cut them up on a 3-turn cooldown fully booked, and you're getting 40% more damage when booked. 40. That must be like a record high on any other champion in raid. I can't recall any other champion to get 40% increased damage from books. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Deals 100% more damage to enemies under a stun, sleep, freeze, provoke, fear, true fear, or petrification debuffs. If the target is killed, instantly activates the Fist of Terror skill, which we're gonna get to in just a second. So this skill There's absolutely amazing with Odin, with Armans, with Kaimar, with the new champion from the Demon Spawn that you're getting from the Siege mode, with champions that crowd control. Tormin, you guys get the drill, right? So very, very nice. Then, the Fist of Terror, ladies and gentlemen. Fist of Terror attacks all enemies, places a True Fear debuff for 2 turns. This debuff cannot be resisted or blocked by enemies with 50% HP or less. So, if you open with this skill and move over to the A2, you're in for a sweet treat because you're gonna basically land True Fear on the allies that have lower HP. You're gonna use the A2, kill somebody, instantly activate this skill again, and wipe the entire team off. And if that's not enough, let me just read you the passive. Ravenous Hunger on a 2-turn cooldown. Whenever this champion kills an enemy using an active skill, grants this champion an extra turn. Yes, you've heard that right. So you kill somebody with the A3, extra turn, move over to the A2, extra turn in a way because you're activating the A3, and then you take one more turn, and then again you're going to be able to gain an extra turn. Each debuff placed by this champion in either form increases this champion's HP, attack, and defense by 2%, stacking up to 50%, and speed by 2, stacking up to 50 in their alternate form. So basically, guys, these things right here are great. The problem is you need to land a lot of debuffs to stack this passive, and it's not easy to do that in arena. We're gonna try this champion in PvE content as well. It's definitely designed to be in for longer fights. I feel like even without this, is an absolute monster. The damage is just crazy, and you're gonna get to convince yourself in just a second. But definitely pretty interesting champion on the second form. I do think that you need that pinpoint next to a Savage, or maybe just full pinpoint, because she will bring a lot of damage on her own. But without further ado, let me just quickly show you the build. I do have a blessing on the champion as well, and that is Nature's Wrath, because it just makes sense, right, to increase that damage. So at the moment, I have the champion built on a Savage and Stone Skin. We're gonna see how this champion performs in Hydra. We're gonna see how the champion performs on waves. I feel like 4 waves is gonna be absolutely madness. Total stats on the first form are the following. We have 246 speed, full crit rate, 272 crit damage, 5k attack, 61k HP, 3.6k defense, 341 accuracy. Keep in mind, we do ignore 20% of the target's resistance as well with mythical champions, which helps. As I mentioned, Nature's Wrath. Then if we're going to check the second form, this is the attack form, right? So the blessing on its own gives us 900 attack, 45 crit damage, which is massive, having blessings on mythical champions. We have 7k attack, 246 speed, full crit, 285 crit damage. So I haven't went all crazy mode and gave her the most disgusting build, okay? Considering that we have a 5-star blessing, this build is not crazy. If you remove the 900 attack from the blessing and the 45 crit damage, it becomes a pretty average build for endgame, right? Leaving all that on the side, masteries, offense, and support to try and get a bit of more accuracy, and we have Helm Smasher as tier 6, guys, just to basically deal more damage. Let's see what we can do in here. We're not really gonna land debuffs with her, but we're gonna have Odin to land the stun for us. And we can play it with Armans as well, that's fine. Okay, so let's buff a bit. We're gonna gain the increased attack. We're not really gonna land debuffs with her. Okay, so we got that up and running. So we still have a stun on the horse. So I'm gonna go in with the A2, 100% more damage. 91k, the second he did not proc. I'm not sure why we killed Arbiter. Because I think we actually activated the A3, right? We activated the A3. We activated the A3 directly. We gained the extra turn. They have Stone Skin, so we can't really do much about that. Okay. So once that goes down, let's see, can we strip it? We got it from Tormin. Nakret. Give it to me, no? Let's put a fear. No. That fear's supposed to be unresistible, right? I don't think he had more than 50% HP, Tormin. Or maybe he did. Maybe he did. But that fear's supposed to be unresistible. Okay. Let's buff again. We still have the increased attack, which is nice. So I can go with this skill, kill somebody. We're gonna go straight for that accurate, of course. Again, only one hit needed. We activated the A3, instantly killed that Tormin, and now we can slowly go in with the A1. We haven't wiped him off completely yet, but we are definitely getting there. And I want to try some crazier teams as well, right? I like that passive, the extra turns are nasty. And the damage, even though we're not really applying any debuffs, the damage is really good. So what if we're going to attempt to land some debuffs here? Do they have Stone Skin? No Stone Skin, so that's fine. Are we taking a turn? Not sure. We're going to try that anyway. So we're going to do this. And look at the damage. We're killing even with the very first form, and that was an Ursaga. Okay. So let's go A1. We landed debuffs, so right now we should definitely have more firepower, basically. I want to try the first form with the poisons as well, guys. We're going to get to that part in a second. If we're going to go like this. Bang, Rotos down, Siphi down. Beautiful. Beautiful. 200 plus K damage. Let's try to find a tankier team. And I'm going to let them buff. But you need accuracy for the poisons, right? Yeah. So maybe it's better if we are doing this. Plus, I'm going to get increased accuracy from Arbais. So we should have, like, plenty of accuracy. So with Odin, what should we do? Nothing. Let him buff. So it's just one poison. Ah, okay. It's not a poison for every buff and every effect. Whenever one of the effects happens, it doesn't matter how many buffs, it doesn't matter how many buffs, sorry. It doesn't matter how many times they're healing and buffing at the same time. It's just one poison for all of the effects. Okay, that's pretty weak sauce. That's actually pretty weak sauce. I'm definitely not impressed with that. But we can steal all of their buffs now. That's nasty. That was nasty. Stripping all of those buffs, though. Okay, so if you guys had any crazy ideas of making a poison team for Arena with her and stuff like that, that's not the case. Because you're only getting one filthy poison for all of the effects. So that's definitely not great. Definitely not great. So right now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do that. I'm gonna do that. Let's do this. I basically wanna land the defense down and weaken with her. My god, so much damage even with the first four, man. So now we landed some debuffs. The whole idea was that I'm gonna be able to basically stack the passive. That was my intention. That was my intention. So I will Metamorph. And I will go A1 without increased attack on UDK. Almost took him down, though. And we are Magic Affinity, too. So now we can increase the attack. Oh, don't die. Don't die. Okay, that kind of sucks a bit, to be honest. Let's do that. To put a revive on that. Oh, she's up. She's up. She's up and running. So right now what I want to do, guys. I want to kill Marichka. Or try to kill Marichka. I'm curious if Taras will counterattack before we are proccing the A3 if we kill an enemy. So 1, 2. Okay. He will counterattack only after. Good to know. Good to know. Our turn with Mr. Odin. I really need to basically protect her a little bit so Taras doesn't kill her. Marichka is back, which is fine. We are Just staying a bit longer in the fight. Beautiful. So right now we have a chance to basically land through fear or just kill them all. So we have true fear on everybody. Our passive should be just going through the roof right now. Just A1. I don't want to kill nobody with Odin. A1 again. Am I going to be able to get an increased attack by any chance? Okay, so they're back on full HP. Look at all of those continuous heals, man. Crazy. How do we even have so many continuous heals? I'm not even sure. Are they all from Arbais? Because we haven't stolen any buffs, right? How did we gain so many continuous heals? Must be from Arbais. Must be from Arbais. But those are a lot of continuous heals there, guys. So right now, if I'm going to go A1 again, just so I can increase the attack after. So we can remove those buffs. We have the stun on. We have the stun on. Can we take a turn before they're taking a turn? Please. Most likely not. No, no, no. They're all going to take a turn before, which is okay, not a problem. Let's take, or try to take him down. Okay, and right now we're going to go again for Damarichka. 1. Down. Down. That was the extra turn. It wasn't the extra turn. So maybe this is not... I'm not sure if this is the case. We killed Marichka. And we killed UDK. Then we proc the A3. And maybe somehow the A3 proc twice. It definitely feels like that proc twice. Unless I'm mistaken about it. But either way, the damage is very, very powerful. Very solid damage, right? This champion is not messing around. And let's do that. We have a stun again. No, we don't. Forget about it. So Sifi down. Weak hit on UDK. Beautiful. 5 minutes fight, guys. But look at the damage. 1 million. I just wanted to basically see how the champion will perform in kind of like all of the scenarios versus a more powerful team. And yeah, definitely pretty solid. I think she will be very nasty for live arena. On that second form, my god. That's all I'm saying. And I want to see how well she performs in the Hydra clan boss, right? And I haven't tried actually a higher stage in the Dragon Slayer. So let's go on like this. Maybe I'm gonna bring in a reset champion just to get my thermometer up and running as well. Sorry, Kaimar. Let's go with Kaimar in here. So like this, we should be able to rotate a bit the skills more often to land more debuffs, right? So we land these debuffs. Beautiful. Then we can rotate again. We can boost the thermometer again. This right here, we land sleep, so more debuffs. Can do that. Actually, supposed to don't reset, but okay, that's fine. Let's do that again. Good damage. The thing is, by the time we get to the next wave and we have the passive stacked, we're losing it basically, right? Okay, increase attack. So we metamorph right now. And I'm going to go with the A2. So just check out the damage on this champion right here. 127k with the first hit. And the AoE right now, 240. And this is on stage 10 hard mode, right? They're much tankier here. Through fear, beautiful. So now I kind of need a defense down or weaken. That would be nice. But we're gonna go without it. Let's see. A2, A3 again. Nice. And A1 because of the extra turn. A1 again. A2, A3, extra turn. Crazy, right? That's what I find crazy. That's what I find crazy, though. Like, she's really doing some serious freaking damage with that second form. I'm gonna bring another defense down weakened champion. I'm gonna bring in Lydia. So I have 2 of them, so I don't have to rely on her first form and lose the increased attack when I metamorph and stuff like that. So let's let's give it a go right here. Defense down and weaken with Lydia. I'm actually supposed to put that with her first. Let me just back out. I'm supposed to put it with her first to stack the passive, right? The thing is, when you do damage in Hydra, it's not going to count like you're killing a head when you're decapitating a head. So that's going to suck a bit on the second form because we're not going to activate that A3, you know? We're not going to be able to land stun and all of the crowd control debuffs on here, just the provoke, which will increase our damage by 100%. Not bad, right? Then if we're going to do this, let's put block buffs and decrease attack. Let's do the provoke. So we are going to do 100% more damage versus that one. Let's put defense down and weaken. So we landed 8 debuffs, which is very, very good. Everyone has block buffs. We're going to go A1. Okay, you get all of those juicy buffs. Don't worry, let's do that. Oh, I feel like I'm missing gear on my Tuhanorak. Yes, 100% missing gear. So right here, there's no point to use this unless they gain buffs, so I can steal them. There's no point to use the A1 either. So my best thing from here on is to move to the second form. I'm not gonna be able to land more debuffs with this, but we should be able to gain. How many debuffs I said? 8 debuffs. So multiplying that with 2%, basically 16% attack, 16 speed, 16% HP, 16% defense. There's still a long way to get to that 50%. So we're going to have to basically metamorph back and get that sorted. I'm going to go in with the A1 first versus the head of Decay. 96, 106, 170, 99 on an undecapitated head. Pretty nice considering that this is not the most OP build. Now, of course, I do have my Hydra stats maxed as well, which do make quite a bit of a difference. Let's try to take some of them down. Okay. You do that. No provoke on. I'm going to go with the AoE now. Let's see the AoE. 166, 188. Not the craziest damage with the AoE, to be honest. As I mentioned, there's still a lot of attack to be gained from the passive. Okay. We're not going to spread any debuffs. I should try to push in more damage on some of these force heads. Hopefully, we're not going to weak hit, though. 259 and a weak hit. That's fine. A1. We got a cleanse. It's actually perfect. It's actually perfect. Because I'm going to metamorph. I'm going to metamorph, remove the buffs. No, I'm not going to do that either. I'm not going to debuff either with Lydia. I want to debuff after with her. So I stacking even more attack on. Let's provoke. We got resisted. That happens. That happens. We can do this right now. And how are we going to kill Krisk? I guess so. We're going to do this instead. Remove the buffs. Beautiful. Remove the buffs just so we can lose them again. Just so we can lose them again. Damn it. Okay. I feel like if I'm using the A3, I'm going to kill Krisk, man. I'm scared. I'm honestly scared to do it. You see? I need a Head of Mischief to take a turn. Beautiful. Okay, so no more ally protection. I'm safe now. I'm safe. So now we can actually use her A3. And we're going to land only 7 debuffs this time around because somebody has increased defense down for 3 turns, sorry. Okay, so we have the debuffs on. Right now we can slowly stack up some more increased attack and start doing some damage in here. I'm going to save that from Lydia. I wish I would have kept that A2 for this moment. Because right now, if we were cleansing all of those debuffs, removing all of the debuffs from them, it would have been massive. So let's take 1 down. We don't have it available, but we cannot metamorph either. So we're going to go A1. We're not going to do that at the moment. And I really want to kill at least 1 more head. Maybe the Head of Suffering is going to stay alive. Let's try to spread some debuffs from here, maybe. Okay, we spread it Hex and decrease attack. Head of Suffering is annoying, isn't it? Right now we can land defense down and weaken on everybody. So we're gonna go A2, guys. I'm very curious if we decapitate a head, if that will count as a kill. I'm already convinced that it's not going to, but I still wanna try it, right? So 1, 2. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, so we've seen it does not count as a hit, as a kill. Sorry. So I want to use that AoE attack, hopefully before any of the heads spawn. Beautiful. So let's see the damage with the AoE. We have 10.9 million damage. We have defense down and weaken. Maybe we're going to hit a weak hit on the force ones, which doesn't really matter. 786, 876. So the damage from the AoE is definitely not impressive on the Hydra. It's definitely not impressive on the Hydra. We increased our attack from the passive almost by 30%, right? Which is quite a bit, let's be honest. It's quite a bit of attack, right? And it just doesn't feel like it's enough damage. But I'm curious if we can use that A2. Do we have it available, or maybe not just yet? Okay. Not yet. Let's go A1 on the head of Mischief. A1. 400. Okay, 1.6 million, 1.7, 1.8 million with the basic skill, a quadruple hit that ignores defense. So that's actually really, really nice. And you can use this champion in the Fire Knight. It lands the defense down on the wave, metamorphs, then somebody else can wipe them off. You go to the second one, or you don't even need to metamorph. We're going to try to use the champion on the Fire Knight as well as the final test before I forget about it, because I haven't done it yet. So let's... we need to kill another head, so I have... Actually, no, I'm going to use the A2 on the force head. Let's hope we're not going to weak hit. Please. A double hitter, right? 761. So basically 700k, 800k. That's where the damage is. So the damage doesn't seem to be insane on the Hydra Clan Boss. I'll be honest, so far it feels like the best skill on this champion for the Hydra Clan Boss will be the basic skill, which is actually great if you're thinking about it, because you're going to be able to use that skill as often as you might want to. You see, the damage is actually pretty good. 300k, 400k per hit with the A1. Okay. Not the most insane damage dealer for the Hydra Clan Boss, that's for sure, even though we stacked quite a bit of attack on the passive. But overall, decent performer in here. I do prefer her in Arena way more than I prefer her in the Hydra Clan Boss. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about the new mythical champion? She's not the most OP mythical in the game, but she's not bad, which is actually great. As usual, appreciate all of you guys watching. Much love, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.